Okay, welcome to the next video of Consumer Maths, and in this one we're going to be looking at exchange rates for foreign currency. This is yet another thing that people get confused about. So this is useful for if you're going on holidays to another country that uses a different currency, and especially buying things online to work out how much you're going to have to pay from overseas. Okay, so essentially what I have here is a little representation of, here's a sample of currencies, and we have two sets of numbers, a buy rate and a sell rate. When you look up exchange rates nowadays, it's really hard to find the buy and sell rate, but this is how banks do it. When you look up a rate, you tend to find what we call the middle rate. Let's just write that down. The middle rate, which is the average or the mean of the buy and sell. So it's usually a number in between. Right. Average of buy and sell. So that's just an extra little thing that you need to be aware of. But in the whole, we're going to be using the buy and the sell rate separately. The reason they advertise the middle rate is so that when you actually go into, say you look up a particular bank, and you go to that bank, they're not actually going to give you this rate. They're going to calculate it at one of these rates, and it's a way to sort of give you an idea of where the exchange rate is sitting, but not necessarily the exact rate. And I think they do it to give themselves a little bit more profit when they do the exchange. Okay, so the important thing to understand here is we have buy and sell, and people always get these around the wrong way, because what you need to understand is buy and sell refer to what the bank, I'm going to call it bank, but these money exchange places, travel places do it, what the bank does for you, customer. So say you want to go on holiday and buy, and you're going to America. Before you go, you want some US dollars. You go to the bank, and what happens is the bank sells you US dollars, or whatever that Australian dollar cost is. When you come back from holiday and you've still got some US dollars left, you can go back to the bank and they will buy them back off you for whatever the Australian conversion is. So let's write this in black. So this is something to remember so that you don't get these back to front. So when changing, I'm going to call it AUD, Australian dollars, into foreign currency, what we need to do, and I'm going to change colour here, this word, multiply the amount by the sell. By the sell rate. So, for example, you want $1,000 worth of 1,000 Australian dollars converted into American. You take that 1,000, multiply it by this, and because it's a multiple of 10, you get 865 American dollars, multiplying by the sell rate. And changing foreign currency into Australian dollars, then divide the amount by the buy rate. So the bank buys your foreign currency back off you. The bank sells you foreign currency. The sell goes with multiply, buy goes with divide. I'll just leave that there for a second, and then we'll jump straight into some examples. So I'm going to leave the little table there. Because we'll use these values to do the calculations. Now, it's worth saying that these numbers here are in the published textbook that we're using, but the value of foreign currencies compared to any currency changes on a daily basis, and it will be different at different times of day, and it all depends on a country's economy, how much money they make in trade and that sort of thing, and it's a reflection of the strength of the economy. But in saying that, most currencies are balanced. Don't be thrown off by the size of the numbers, because that's just a reflection of the size of the prices of something in another country. Okay, so these examples, let's do them in order. This is the 1.8. So use the previous table, this table here, to change, first one, $50 Australian to US dollars. Okay, so we need, because the bank is selling us the US dollars, we take out 50 Australian dollars and we multiply it by 0.865, and this equals, calculator, we end up with $43.25 USD. Pretty straightforward, but it's just knowing which number you need to use. The next one is change 125 Australian dollars to Japanese yen. So again, we're going to have 125 multiplied by the sell rate, which is right down here at the bottom, 83.14, and that equals 1,003.5, and I think the symbol of Japanese yen is something like that. there's our answer. And I can just put the third one in here. We have 80 euros. And we want to change that to Australian dollars. So because we're starting with a foreign currency, the bank will buy that currency back from us. So this is a situation where we need to divide by the buy rate. So we're going to have 80 euros. It's not write it like that. Let's write it like this. So the euro buy rate is 0.697 equals calculator. So this is in Australian dollars now. $114, and I'll round that 78 AUD. So it's just a matter of understanding that if you're starting with Australian dollars and you're converting that to foreign, you use the sell rate. If you're starting with foreign money and you want to convert that back to Australian, you use the buy rate. Now, in saying that, that only refers to when we are exchanging currencies in Australia. As soon as you go overseas with your Australian dollars, then the bank in the foreign currency will buy your foreign currency, but the numbers will be different because they will be comparing it to their currency, not Australian dollars. Okay, we've got some examples here that are slightly more involved. So just zip through those. Calculator there. Okay, Taylor exchanges. This is someone going on holiday. 450 Australian dollars into New Zealand dollars. So let's just write that down. Into New Zealand dollars. We don't know what that is yet. While on holiday, she spends $325.50 in cash. 3, 2, 5, 50, and that's New Zealand dollars. Don't get confused. The remainder she changes back into Australian currency upon her return. How much does she arrive home with? So first of all, we're converting 450 Australian dollars to New Zealand dollars. So the bank sells us the New Zealand dollars. So we're going to be using this rate. So let's do this, multiply by 1.096 equals. So we get $493.20 New Zealand. Okay, so that's the first part of the question. So out of this amount of New Zealand dollars, Taylor spends this much. We work out how much we come home with, and then we convert that back to Australian dollars. So $493.20, take away $5.50. Let's just check in the calculator. So we come home with $167.70, and that's still New Zealand dollars. And so we want to convert back to Australian. So we're going to take $167.70. So the bank it's going to buy this New Zealand money, New Zealand currency back off us. So we use the buy rate, so we're going to divide it by 1.166. This equals $143.83. Okay. So that was like a little going on holiday scenario. So we've got one more example, and this one uses the middle rate. I'm going to rub this out. So this last example with the currencies. An online currency. So this is using the middle rate, which is going to be the average of the buy and sell rate. So whatever currency we're using, we're going to have to work that out first. And then we use the one rate for converting in both directions. Okay, so use the previous table to find the middle rate for converting into Japanese yen. Okay, so let's just look at the yen symbol. So we got, I'm just going to rewrite these numbers. 91.20 and 83.14 for the middle rate. Remember, it's the average of these two, so 91.20 plus 83.14, and then we're going to divide all that by 2 because we've got two things. So 91.2 4 by 2, so we end up with 87.17. So that is our middle exchange rate. So find the middle rate and then use it to convert 260 Australian dollars to yen. So 260. I'm going to multiply by this number. We end up with 22,664.2 yen. Just write it like that. And to convert back the other way to Australian dollars, of course, we divide by, but we use the same number. Okay, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. So the important thing to remember is the bank sells you foreign currency. You use the sell rate with a multiply, and then when you come back on holiday, the bank will buy your foreign currency and you divide. Let's just put that in there. Yep, that's all for this one. See you next time.